Hi kids, my name's Coach Judith. For those of you who are new to our class, for those of you who've been here before, welcome back. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm going to be your coding teacher, and I've been a coding teacher for many years now, about 6 years after getting a degree in computer science and working in industry. And I've been mostly teaching in person, but now things have changed. Things have changed a lot. So the way this class runs, we're going to watch this video and we're going to give that a shot right now. Let me just make a change here. All right, here goes.
If you've spent any time trying to learn how to code, you've probably used Scratch, or at least seen it. I'm going to spend just a few minutes on Scratch before I break it.
Okay, so I have to stop there first because I love looking at pictures of cats. But then secondly, how many of you have used Scratch? Wondered if anybody has. We may take a look at that in a little bit, but let's keep watching the video.
This is the cat. That's the default cat. You can make the cat move if you have a move instruction. I'm just clicking that move instruction to make the cat move. Easy peasy. I can make it rotate as well. Okay, very nice. Move or rotate. Either one. Doesn't really matter. By the way, do not commit this to memory. Do not write it down. We're not going to use any of this after a few minutes from now. Here's a loop.
All right, did you guys hear him say, don't commit this to memory, don't write it down? So that may be something we talk about in a little bit, that there are things that are really important to remember. There are some things that you don't need to remember because there are ways to look it up. So let's keep watching.
Here's a loop. Here's a loop. If I put the rotate instruction inside there, it does it 10 times. And so it has kind of an animation. I could make it 100 times, or 1,000 if I wanted. And now he'll spin for even longer. If I click this one while it's going, they kind of double up, so it spins faster. It can be a lot of fun. This is a nice sandbox. But I want to point out that it is a sandbox. In this video series...
Okay, we're going to talk about sandboxes later also. Just want you to pay attention. Whenever Stephen talks about a sandbox, I want you to think about what is a sandbox in real life and how we're using that term in our class.
I'm going to be teaching you how to think outside of the boxes that people try to place you in. I'm going to steal this tiny bit of code from this other educational page about how to use CSS transformations. And I'm just gonna...
Okay, kids, don't get scared by what he just showed you. That code shouldn't be scary to you at all. What you're gonna find is that coding in Scratch, coding by typing, doesn't matter, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna not be hard.
Find one little piece of this page, the place where I write the code, and then basically I'm going to change the code for that. So now it's rotated. I wonder if I could make it spin in an animated way with JavaScript. Well, here's a post about making something spin. I'm able to find the part of this that I want, and I am going to copy it, and I'm going to go over here and paste it. Notice it gives a warning that tells me that if I'm not a developer, I shouldn't be here, and that's true. That's the sign that you're leaving the sandbox.
Hey, but guess what, kids? You're going to be the developers. So maybe today we're not going to do anything that says, stop, this is part of your browser intended for developers, but it's not going to be long before you're in that same situation where you are the developer and you'll be able to continue on like Stephen can.
But I'm a coder, and I'm allowed to walk out of any sandbox I want. And to be perfectly honest, so are you. You don't have to stay in any educational box that somebody puts you in. I'm just going to find the part of the page that I want. And I'm going to give it a name. Naming things allows us to affect them with code. And right now I'm giving it the name Bob. So now I'm just writing a line of code that finds Bob, which is actually a part...
I bet some of you are giggling right now because he named his code Bob. You can name your code anything. One of the things that I think is important, not to name your code Bob, but maybe give your code a name that makes some sense. So if we're writing code that has a picture of a cat in it, like Scratch the cat here, then maybe we would name that code Scratch. But we're going to keep looking at Bob here.
With the page, and I'm making Bob spin. So the part of the page where you write the code to make the cat spin is something that I just made spin by moving outside of that sandbox and using a more powerful tool. I wonder if I could get the cat to spin while
I bet he's going to do
code
it.
that's making it spin is also spinning.
Oh, everything's
other
going to
code
spin.
that
Watch
makes
out,
it spin.
kids.
Let's try it. Now the cat is spinning. And I'm going to rerun this code, and yeah. Everything is spinning. The
Whoa,
cat and the
everything's
code making
spinning.
the cat spin. Both are spinning.
All right. Okay, we're going to stop here. And, oh, that's my family. Okay, we're going to get to the Scratch website. For those of you who have never been to it before, it is scratch.mit.edu. And click on Create. And this is where, if we wanted to run some tutorials, you could. I just wanted to show you, this is Scratch. This is Scratch the cat. And here's some of the things that Stephen was showing you. I think he had a loop. Stick that around there. There. I think we could do the spinning and the moving. Let's move our little kitty back here. And we'll run that code. So for those of you who haven't used Scratch before, that's the website, scratch.mit.edu. If you haven't used it, it's really fun. There's a lot of cool things you can do. You can change the way the cat moves, the way the cat looks. You can add other cats. Here's some, you can change what the cat looks like. You can draw on here. So it's a lot of fun. If you haven't used it before, I highly recommend it. And I think that's where we're going to hand off the class to my counterpart, Sunny.